Yeah, I'll just read out the team. Rohit Sharma, captain. Sorry? No, this is both. We picked for both. I think there are a couple of issues which I'll let you know with regards to fitness. For that, we might have another player playing in the three ODIs. Otherwise, it's the same 15. Shubman Gill, vice captain. Virat Kohli. Shreyas Iyer. KL Rahul. Hardik Pandya. Akshar Patel. Washington Sundar. Kuldeep Yadav. Jasprit Bumrah. Mohammad Shami. Arshdeep Singh. Yashasvi Jaiswal. Rishabh Pant. And Ravindra Jadeja. We obviously with Bumrah, we are waiting to hear about his fitness and when he's likely to be available. So Harshit Rana will be part of the one-day squad against England right now, because at the moment I don't think he's likely to be fit for the first couple of games, at least from what we gather. And we'll probably hear more over the next week or so about his fitness.
Can you throw some light on Bumrah? What actually is swelling in his? When you expecting him to be completely match fit, or what is?
I would have been nicer if BCCI had, because I might say the wrong thing here. No, I know he was asked to offload for 5 weeks of bowling, which is early first week February if I'm not wrong, and we'll probably find out a bit more around that time, what exactly, and with regards to what his medical condition is. I'm sure BCCI might just put something out from the physio itself. It's better it comes from the medical department than me trying to explain what exactly is wrong with him. But that's the time frame that we've been told, and hopefully is okay after that. Yeah. So we are very hopeful.
With Karun Nayar's form, was that discussed? He's been in tremendous form, and which is perhaps unlikely to miss out.
Yeah, tough. I mean, those are really special performances. I mean, someone who averages 700 plus, 750 plus or something. We did have a chat, no doubt about it. When those kind of performances happen, at the moment to find spot in this team is very difficult. I mean, you look at the guys who've been picked, all average well in excess of mid 40s. Yeah. So unfortunately, you can't fit everyone in. It's a squad of 15. But those performances certainly make you take notice, and if there is tomorrow loss of form or injuries, there's certainly be a conversation around him.
A lot has been spoken about being the chairman of selection committee. How you are guessing the way forward, in terms of Rohit, Virat.
Sorry,
in terms of Rohit, Virat, the seniors, we've been hearing about transition phase. As a chairman of selection committee, how do you approach things going forward?
What is today is the 18th. It's a month away for Champions Trophy. These guys have been exceptional performers in one-day cricket. We haven't had one-day cricket 3 games in Sri Lanka and a little bit in South Africa early in the year. Unfortunately, we haven't had too much one-day cricket this year. We'll see. Once the Champions Trophy is done, we've got a bit more time to sit and assess where everyone is at. Not just 1 or 2 players, but where we go forward. But at the moment, the focus is on one-day cricket and Champions Trophy. And these guys, we reached the World Cup final that we played. Last one. So, no, I mean, we know what the quality that these guys bring and the experience that these guys bring. So, at the moment, with regards to any player in the team, the focus is completely Champions Trophy.
There was a time where players took pride in playing domestic cricket, Ranji Trophy, whenever they were available and were free of injury concerns. Now it has come to a stage where the BCCI has to issue a diktat to make them play in the domestic cricket. Why is it so? Is it because the players have taken their places for granted, or can you throw more light on this particular issue? And if you can, Captain, you also.
I mean, digressing from the Champions Trophy a little bit, but Look, I don't think it's a diktat. I think everyone should when available. Sometimes, to be fair to a lot of the players, it's difficult if you're playing all three formats. You don't get as much time, but there's no doubt. I mean, you'll probably find most of the guys playing this round of Ranji Trophy. There's been a little bit of time, and those who are available and fit, you expect people to play. I don't think it's a diktat. It's one of the things that BCCI has obviously put forward. But like I said, I mean, as selectors, we expect people when they're available to play, because that can only strengthen our domestic structure, not just for their form or their fitness and playing cricket, but it can only strengthen our domestic structure. So when the time permits, we expect everyone to play.
So last 6-7 years, there have been, if you go back and watch our calendar, there hasn't been a time where we were sitting at home for 45 days and there is cricket going on. You do get that time when you finish IPL, and if there's nothing happening right after that. But if you see our domestic season, it starts in October, maybe September, and it gets over by March, February, March. And that is the time India plays a lot of cricket as well. So guys who are not playing certain formats and have time, and then there is domestic cricket happening, then they will play. But the last 6-7 years, I can at least tell about what has happened with me since I have started playing Test cricket regularly, which is from 2019. You hardly have any time. And then when you play so much cricket, international cricket through the year, you need some time off as well as a cricketer, just to refresh, get your mind right, just to be ready for the season, upcoming season. But we have addressed it now, and nobody takes it for granted or anything like that. It is just based on looking at how one has gone through the season, how much rest he needs. Based on all of that, we decide what is going to happen with certain players. And then, yeah, obviously now it's been made mandatory that if there is time, you have to play domestic cricket.
Rohit, we saw when the T20 World Cup team was selected, you had said that you let us know why you picked 4 spinners for the T20 team. I see that there are 4 spinners being picked here as well for this Champions Trophy squad. Is it reflective of the kind of conditions you are expecting there, or is it a formula that you're comfortable in white ball cricket? But I thought I was T20 this over here. As a captain, you're more comfortable with this sort of push.
Yeah, it just gives us a little bit of depth as well when you have those all-rounders, spinning all-rounders. Unfortunately, we don't have too many of them as seeming all-rounders, but you want to take your batting as deep as possible, along with some quality bowling as well. So these guys who we have picked, Washi, Jadeja and Akshar, they are proper all-rounders. They can bat, they can bowl, and they are not there to fill a role of a bowler or fill a role of a batter. They have performed in the situation where the team and I are very, very comfortable with what they do, with their certain role, and to have these kind of options is always nice. And when I said these 3 boys are quality in terms of what they have, and when you have quality like that, your squad looks quite the squad looks like it has got a lot of depth. And then obviously with the quality of the spin as well, you can cover all bases. We have an off spinner, we have a left arm spinner, and then we have a China, not to forget Kuldeep as well there. So you sort of try and cover all bases when you pick a team. So I think with these 3 guys, you try and sort of cover those bases.
Rohit and Ajit, happy New Year to both of you. My question to Ajit first. If 2 players were rested for the 2020 series against England, considering the workload, championship, and they are now being asked to play with domestic, that the 4-day game is 4 times or 10 times actually higher. Most 10 was than the T20 game. Is there some kind of oddity there or bizarre that they have elected for some international format and asked to play domestic cricket? And Rohit, will you be playing the domestic match?
No, I think that it was a long Australian tour, 5 tests before that in India as well. So some of the guys who were part of most of those were just not picked for T20. Also the T20 team did really well in South Africa. It was an opportunity to give some of those guys another series. T20 World Cup is still a little while away. So we'll probably start, once the Champions Trophy is done, we might have to start planning a little bit more on what the 18-20 is. There's no particular reason. I mean, there's 5th Jan was the time that the test match finished. 23rd is the Ranji Trophy game and 6th is the one-day game. So there's plenty of time for them to play. No, it's just about playing cricket now. I mean, I know there's T20 internationals, but fortunately we've got a lot of depth with regards to our T20 teams. So we can afford to rest a few players, and rest doesn't mean, if somebody needs a rest completely from the game, the physio lets us know, whether it's from the NCA or it's from the team physio, and we then don't play those people, whether it's in T20 or Ranji Trophy games. So at the moment they've had almost 3 weeks break after that last test, so there's no reason why they can't play the Ranji Trophy games.
I will.
Hi, Ajit, my question is to you. Having won the T20 World Cup with the same set of board players, what kind of change in the last 6 months or so for the board to bring a set of rule book for the players to strictly follow, which is kind of mandatory?
No, I didn't understand, sorry.
I mean, having won the T20 World Cup 6 months back with the same 4 set of players, what sort of situations changed to get a sort of rule book or that in place?
Who in place? I didn't.
You mean the new, whatever the SOPs have come out? I think we'll probably talk about it endlessly here if we keep going on. No, I suppose every team has some rules in place. We've spoken about various things you see over the last few months where you can improve as a team, when you can get a bit closer as a team. It's not a school, it's not a punishment. It's just you have some rules in place, and when you're playing for the national team, you just follow those rules. It's again, these are mature individuals. They are superstars in their own right in international sport. But at the end of the day, you're eventually representing your country, and there are certain things that you just inherently follow as every team does. I mean, I think a lot of them have been in place. Maybe we've spoken about it now and it's been put out, but a lot of them have been in place in any case, and you keep on refining it as you go along. Eventually, what suits the team, you want to try and do.
Aaron, how do you see it as a challenge to face a red ball as well as white ball at the same time, as you recently played with Mumbai and your team with the red ball and now preparing for the white ball series?
Yeah, I've done all my life like this, playing red ball some days, playing white ball cricket. So it's nothing new for me. We are all. If you talk about me, I'm used to these kind of changes because this is not happening for me now. It's been for such a long period of time, because when you play all 3 forms, you have to adjust to all kind of formats. So sometimes you prepare for red ball and then suddenly there is a T20 format. There's nothing new about it.
A question each for the coach and the selector. Ajit, first of all, what is up with Mohammad Siraj? We don't see him named in the squad. And Rohit, is there a sense of a slight inexperience in this bowling attack, given some players are returning from injuries and the experienced ones are missing out?
Experience, it's only Siraj who's not there, but that's purely because we thought of it, since we are not sure about Bumrah, whether he's going to play or not. So we wanted to pick a squad where we have options of both somebody to bowl with new ball and somebody to bowl at the back end. So if obviously with Bumrah missing or not sure we wanted Arshdeep to come and play that role of, bowling at the back end. And Shami, obviously we saw what he did with the new ball, and that is where we feel that Siraj's effectiveness comes down a little bit if he is not going to take the new ball. We discussed it at length about it, and we are only taking 3 seamers there because we wanted all these all-rounders with us. It's an unfortunate thing that he has to miss out, but we had no option but to get the guys who can perform a certain role. I personally feel that we have guys who can bowl with new ball and be effective in the middle and then effective at the back end. So you need to cover all 3 facets of the game, and with these 3 boys I think we can do that. And yeah, I mean, look, Arshdeep hasn't played a lot of ODI, but he's been around the white ball circuit for a long time. So I don't feel so uncomfortable saying that he's not experienced. He's been there enough, and he's bowled some tough overs, in white ball cricket. So I definitely think he can handle that pressure. And Shami is a stalwart of white ball cricket, and what he did recently in the World Cup was superb to watch. And then Harshit, obviously you needed something different. He's shown the potential that he's got something about him. So you back those things, sometimes I know it's very hard to ignore numbers, but look at Jaiswal. We picked Jaiswal based on clearly what he has shown in the last 6 to 8 months. He's not played a single ODI cricket, but we still picked him because of the potential that he's got. So sometimes, you have to do that, and in that some players will miss out, and it's very, very unlucky and unfortunate. But again, if you talk about everyone, you can't please everyone. So at the end of the day, you try and make the best team and best possible squad to win games under different situations, and I feel with these guys you can have that.
Rohit, you had a lot of success in India captain in the last 6 months, probably one of the results that you have liked. During this period,
last 3 months, not 6 months.
The one is the series in Goal. But anyway, my point, you had a new coach, a new set of support staff. It's difficult to judge from the outside, but has there been any missing link in terms of tactics? How have you felt?
Tactics? No, I mean, look, it's both of us are very clear in what we want to do. I'm not going to sit here and discuss what goes behind every game tactically, but it's very clear in my mind. And Gautam Gambhir is somebody, once we enter the field, he trusts what the captain is doing on the field. The basic talks that happens are only off the field, in the ground or maybe the changing room. But once we take the field, it's all about what I do on the field. So that's the kind of trust we have in each other, and that's how it should be. And that's about it.
Yeah, Ajit, we can throw some more light on Mohammad Shami's selection. A month ago, he was not there for the full Australian tour. So will be involved with the nations. But in the last 3 weeks, he's been selected for the full series against England. What is that he has done? Something different to be big for both the white balls.
I mean, I don't think his fitness was anything to do with white ball cricket anyway. I think we were trying to get him to Australia, which unfortunately is needed and allow him to play 4-day cricket or 5-day cricket. With regards to white ball, I think he's played most of the Mushtaq Ali games, might have missed one if at all, and some other Vijay Hazare games. With uncertainty around Jassi as well, obviously if he is fit and playing regularly, it's the quality that we get and the experience with Mohammad Shami. We don't have to speak about the quality that he brings. To get him involved in T20 was precisely that, just to get him back into international cricket, play under pressure a little bit, even though it's 20-over cricket. It will be, you have to be at high intensity just to get him up to pace before the one-day start. So, no, I mean, he has got obvious quality. So if he was fit, he was always going to be part of the discussion. And we are hoping that he comes through these games. And by the time the Champions Trophy comes around, he's at 100%.
I have a question for you. Ajit, have you finalized your reserve in case Bumrah doesn't make it? And Rohit, recently BCCI has come with new policy for players after Australia too. What's your take on it? Because there are some things like Miles won't be allowed to go back, say, Miles doesn't have to be for 2 weeks and other restrictions.
We are just hoping Bumrah's fit, yeah.
But have you decided reserve?
We're just hoping Bumrah's fit. We'll have a chat if he is not fit.
Who told you about these rules?
All the media.
Has it come from official handle of BCCI? Where did it come officially?
So Ajit, you got Akshay Patel as vice captain in the T20s and now Shubman Gill as vice captain in this team. So are you looking at grooming leaders going forward? In these roles, Shubman is not part of the obviously restrict for the T20s. So are you looking at these players?
Yeah, I mean Shubman was vice captain in Sri Lanka anyway. I mean in both formats. So yeah, you want to try and keep an eye out who your potential leaders are. I won't read too much into it, but obviously, like I've said in previous press conferences, a lot of the feedback comes from the dressing room as well. But you also want to keep your options open. I think that's one of the challenges these days because guys are either involved with international team or not many people go and lead the state team. Akshar's been leading Gujarat as well. No deep reason there. I think, but you always keep a lookout for anyone who's got some leadership qualities.
जी हाँ दोस्तों, कल अजीत अगरकर और रोहित शर्मा द्वारा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस रिलीज़ गई जिसमें चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी के लिए टीम इंडिया का ऐलान कर दिया गया है। दोस्तों वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करें। धन्यवाद।